Hello everyone, this is McLeod, and today I am playing something that got to KOG, and it's CUBICS. So a little bit of backstory behind this deck. A user by the name of Jakaishin shared this list recently, stating that they did get to King of Games playing this deck, and detailing their experience in the Reddit post explaining how their matchups went, and basically on the deck function, which, surprise surprise, it's CUBICS, so it didn't function all that well. But it still got them to King of Games, and that's honestly impressive, all the more considering that this list that you see before your very eyes is free to play-ish. All of the CUBICS cards can be attained as level up rewards or dual drops, I think, from Sarah and Igami. The rest of the staples that you see here, Storm is a free to play card. I think this is available on the card trader. Gyrophavoris is probably in a very miserable box. Oh, it can be obtained with box chips too. Not that you'd use your box chips for Gyrophavoris. MSD is probably the hardest to obtain card in this entire set, and I'm pretty sure you can get it in a structure deck or something. No, you can't, but there is a special starter set with it. As you can see, this deck is playing around the impressively bad CUBICS Seed skill that has some of the most insane conditions ever. This skill will only activate if you begin the duel with a deck that follows the conditions below. The number of spell traps that are not CUBICS cards in your deck must be 6 or lower. As you can see, we're playing 2 MSTs, 1 Storm, 2 Rainbow Lives, and 1 Gyrophavoris for exactly 6 non-CUBICS back row. And the only monsters in your deck and extra deck are CUBICS monsters, so you're not allowed to even play the tamest rank 4 monsters in the game. And all this skill does is add 3 V-Jumps the CUBICS Seed, which is also a card that you can obtain as a free level up reward, but that Jakaishin chose not to put in the deck because you don't ever want to see it in your hand, and putting 1 copy of V-Jam in your deck increases your chance of drawing it. The rest of the list is pretty standard. Duza is still the best CUBICS monster out there. Your best send target for Duza is CUBICS Karma, which is a search spell for any of your monsters in grave, but also allows you to boost a monster that you would summon by sending a bunch of seeds directly from deck to grave, so that you can boost a Buster Gun Deal, which can attack thrice but has a very annoying summon condition, or a Crimson Nova, which can attack twice, burn for 15,000 in the end phase, and as a more easily achievable summoning condition. CUBICS Ascension is a really cute combat trick that summons a V-Jam from the deck. CUBICS Causality is not a fiendish chain, it's an effect, a continuous effect veiler, right? It just negates the effect of a monster forever. I guess it's kind of like Fiendish Chain if Fiendish Chain just leaves the field. It places a CUBICS counter basically. And then Rainbow Life makes it so you don't die. Gyrophavoris makes it so you can recycle your CUBICS cards once you use them, because you only have 1 copy of Crimson Nova, which not the easiest card to get back. And Dharma makes it so you take no battle damage from CUBICS monsters battling, basically, and also allows you to cycle a CUBICS card once per turn, which is actually pretty decent, and has a decent graveyard effect as well. V-Jam itself, of course, can be destroyed by battle and places a CUBICS counter on any monster that battles it if you place it on your back row afterwards, and you can special summon it back from your back row, which is a cute little gimmick that is actually very important in some matchups. And Jakaishin mentions a couple of other cards that they would have played, but I'm not sure why they didn't. They did mention that they didn't have a single copy of Pot of Duality, which can be decent in order to search for your better turn 1 cards, such as Ascension and Duza specifically. And Ice Dragon's Prison is just like one of the best cards of this format, nay, of all time, so it's probably better to be playing this instead of Rainbow Life. I gave this deck a try not on the ranked ladder, but on another PvP place where people actually try out and play some of the top decks of the format. That's right, I meant the Duelist Kingdom event that recently finished, where for some reason people just play full power Lyrilusc and Shark, which, wow, that's really fun. I love these types of events, Konami. Please keep making them. Regardless, after losing like 17 games, I got a couple of cool wins that I'd like to showcase now. So let's just take a look at them. This first replay is going to be against Dinomists, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Dinomists, which is fitting because it's a tier 14 deck and I'm playing a tier like 17 deck, so that's approximately the same power level, except that deck is a slightly better than mine. I opened a really decent hand there. Don't ignore the Kuras. The Kuras actually never comes up. It's not a real card at all, and it was just added there for the Duelist Kingdom event. Doesn't change a thing. My opponent's gonna set 2 scales and pend summon a Dinomist Ceratops, and that's gonna be their turn. So clearly, even I should be able to beat this board. I'm going to activate Dharma, send Karma. Karma is going to get Crimson Nova, which I'm then going to be able to summon. Then get a Duza. Duza is going to send a Karma. Karma is going to get me another Duza. And then I foolishly miss Lethal. See? Cubic Karma has an effect that allows you to boost a cubic monster you control by sending any number of Vijams from your deck to the grave and boosts it for 800 for each Vijam that you sent. So what I should have done pretty much is boost the, not necessarily the Crimson Nova, but the Duza, so that the Duza would have been able to punch over the Ceratops, which would have been protected by the Dinomist Terran in the scale from being destroyed, then attack with Crimson Nova, which would have destroyed the Ceratops and allowed Crimson Nova to attack again. That's not what I did though. So that was a bit of an awkward turn when I realized my mistake. Still, I have a cubic causality with 2 cubic face-up monsters on the field, so I'm not too concerned about anything my opponent should be able to do. They're gonna use their scale to return a Spinos from their deck to the from their hand to their deck rather. Activate Dynamic Powerload, which is not a good card that you shouldn't be playing that. Anyway, and then just gonna pen summon another guy, and I'm gonna Cubic Causality to prevent them from attacking, and then I'm gonna remember, wait, Cubic Karma is a real card I can use for lethal, and I do, so I win. That's, yeah, one of the worst duels I've ever played. And this year duel is against top tier meta threats, near tier 0, piece of shit deck Lyrilusc, which, wow, going second against Lyrilusc, that is so fun. That's the most fun you can have in Duel Links. I love this, Konami. Also, I'm playing a version that played part of Duality in lieu of Jar of Avarice. That's the only card I changed in the deck. And once you lose the Crimson Nova, you're like, oh, that's why you play Jar of Avarice, which it's not a good card, but what can you do, you know? My opponent's just gonna do the classic Lyrilusc combo. That's so fun! I love dueling so much! I love that you can get to fucking watch the same, like, 3-minute combo over and over again, because Konami just won't fix this completely broken deck. On ladder, in tourneys, just everywhere, winning everything. God, it's so annoying! It is so annoying! It is... It's literally the best deck of the format. Literally the best deck of the format. And Konami won't do anything until the next KCC. Wow. Don't you love this format? This year has just been the absolute worst for Duel Links, right? It's insane how bad this year has been for Duel Links. Very specifically. That this is a deck that is allowed to, like, exist and perform consistently. My opponent is going to activate Assemble Nightingale immediately because they guessed that I was on Cubics because my skill activated. I am going to activate Part of Duality and get a Cubic Ascension, which my opponent knows about, which is completely fine. I am going to battle the V-Jam into the Assemble Nightingale. I take 500, but I'm able to place a Cubic Seed, Cubic Counter rather, on the Assembled Nightingale, and which negates its effect and prevents it from attacking. So I basically neutralize their greatest monster. Isn't that kind of insane? Rest of Starling is going to get them a DD Crow, which, wow, that's so good against my deck very specifically, you moron. They're going to activate Guild Pen of Guilders, which, that's another cool thing that you give to Lyrilusc for free in this event. Whatever. I'm going to activate Cubic Ascension and learn about a really fun interaction that I didn't expect until now. My opponent's gonna attack the Recital Starling into the Vijam the Cubic Seed. I can't activate the Vijam effect here because Ensembler Robin just puts it back in my hand before I'm able to do anything. Because it was, I guess it was summoned during the battle step, and Ensembler Robin just doesn't care about this, so I take another 11 for basically 3. Isn't that fun? I activate Cubic Dharma, and I'm going to cycle one of the Vijam, summon another Vijam, set a causality, activate another causality, and at this stage I've just placed my opponent in a lock where they can't really do anything to beat me, so I just win. And what's that, Lyrilusc player? You can't bet tier 17 deck CUBICS? Well, that's on you. Maybe you should stop being bad. This deck is bad. It's not just me saying it. Jikai Shino shares this opinion. This deck is not really good, but it is pretty fun to pull off, which happens sometimes. And also mad respect for Jikai Shin for, like, they mentioned in the Reddit post that this is their 6th time getting to KOG with CUBICS. 6 times getting to KOG with CUBICS. I can't imagine anyone mustering the strength and the willpower to play this deck for like 6 different formats. It's insane to me. It's really insane. Anyway, they conclude their post by saying that if you lose to CUBICS, you're a bad duelist. You probably have reading issues, and I concur with that, especially in the case of my Lyrilusc opponents. That they could have just made Promenade Thrush, you know, and get rid of my Cubic Summon Vijam from deck card. Ascension, that's the name of the card. So yeah, don't play this deck. It's bad. Maybe play it if you're low ranked. You know what? If you're like up to plat or something, you can play this deck. And it's cheap to build. It's not that hard to play. You can do really well with it. Don't cut Storm. Storm is a really important card. But if you have Duality and IDP, probably play those instead of Jar of Avarice and Rainbow Life would be my advice. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. This is probably the last video I'll do before covering the decks of the newest upcoming main box. That at the time of recording, the contents haven't been revealed yet. So that's fun. Thank you for watching regardless, and thank you in particular to Zinnia, Yannick, Aldishboy0, Dingust, and Jimmy for their donations on Coffee. Hope you all also enjoyed this deck, and I will see you all some other time with something else. Take care everyone, I'll see you all next time.